Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Review. So after finishing and putting out all the films that I saw on my channel that I saw at the Virginia Film Festival, I said to myself I need to go back and watch some TV. And about the same time last year I reviewed a show called Roadkill that was from the BBC and also Masterpiece Theatre. This time around I've begun reviewing a TV show that I saw on the BBC, although I don't know this will go to Masterpiece. This is called Showtrial. This is 5 episodes, and all 5 episodes are directed by Zara Hayes, and they're written by either Zara Hayes or Ben Richards. Now this show is produced by the same people that brought you a TV show called Vigil, and if you're not familiar with that show, that was a TV show about a murder investigation that was set on a nuclear submarine. I haven't gotten to that TV show, but I'll probably be interested in watching that after I finish this review here for you. This is sort of a interesting legal thriller, and let me confess, no one does crime shows better like the British, because unlike the American counterparts, the British crime stuff is a whole lot less gloss and more straight to the point, with less subplots and more matter-of-factness. Can you imagine what I'm about to tell you being a American remake, possibly going on HBO, but not necessarily being on the main networks? And now, in hardworking student Hannah Ellis, the daughter of a single mother who was working class, was attending this upper-class university, who apparently we've been told many times during the show was a genius. She goes missing one night after a ball, which, yes, technically saying, yes, that's a private dance. Well, her mother obviously starts to get worried. The media obviously picks this up. Now, of course, at first, we think to ourselves, okay, is it possible that this local drug dealer who is hanging around the campus, could he be involved? But of course, that doesn't lead anywhere, and so, well, eventually, this leads to 2 suspects being arrested. One of them happens to be Tabitha Campbell, who is the daughter of wealthy and billionaire real estate mogul Damien Campbell. Now, like a lot of British TV shows, very few actors somehow make it across international fame. This obviously has one actor who has achieved international fame, and that happens to be James Frain, who I know him best from being Cromwell on The Tudors, and he plays Damien Campbell. And obviously the other is a man named Dylan, whose mother happens to be the shadow, environmental minister, because that's how British government does it. They have the main cabinet and they have a shadow cabinet, because we don't do that here, because quite frankly, can you imagine anyone actually conceiving of doing that? The Damien Campbell and obviously Dylan's mother are 2 sides of the political establishment, and that obviously the media begins to sort of exploit this to a certain degree. Now obviously what I come to learn about Tabitha is that she is arrogant, and she obviously likes to party and take drugs. Obviously there is, however, a sort of darkness and sort of sadness to her, because she was sadly estranged from her parents, and Dylan is sort of sadly autistic. The mother here says to her lawyer, hey look, he was a follower, and basically Tabitha is a sociopath. And the first 2 episodes here deal with the investigation and leading up to the arrest of Tabitha and Dylan. 3rd through 5 episodes deal with the actual trial, and obviously the person here set to defend Tabitha is a woman named Cleo Fields. Now Cleo was a woman who was in another trial where she developed a conscience that led to her sort of being exiled from the legal community for a while. Now she has reemerged and has started to work as a general solicitor, and obviously dealing with people like the drug dealers of sorts. Tabitha kind of takes a liking to Cleo because her father has 2 guys, one of whom happens to be a sort of sleazy right-hand man. This right-hand man sort of slept with her mother. And obviously a PI who at least is interesting enough to warrant interest. Obviously this series tries to show you all-encompassing sides here, whether it be the 2 defendants who clearly, as Dylan's mother points out, she wants to cut the throat of the other one, and basically, Tabitha's defense of like, hey look, I'm not there. It was clearly Dylan, who was clearly a high-strung individual, and We obviously get the police and the prosecution because, hey, look, this is a high-profile case, and if we don't get this right, clearly two suspects who clearly could be budding sociopaths could be set free, and also the mother or the daughter who clearly wants to know, okay, who is responsible for all of this. When it comes to police, some people might have their careers on the line because of this case. In this case, there is a subplot here involving a sleazy teacher that Tabitha happened to sleep with, and his wife gives him the riot act when the papers leak the fact that, oh yeah, Tabitha was sleeping with him. What he does is tragic, but quite frankly, he develops a conscience because he comes to realize, oh yeah, Tabitha and Dylan are sociopaths who might have murdered this girl. Now, all the while, we have to guess here, okay, what exactly is Tabitha? Is she a damaged person who, quite frankly, lashed out, did something irrational? Or is she actually innocent? I think also one of the things that a lot of people seem to forget is every so often we do get a very big, high-profile trial. I don't know how it's done in the UK as well, but at least in the American model, it's basically arrest, plea deal, prison. Because here's the thing, and I think a lot of people don't seem to forget this, is that if everyone got that big show-stopping trial, the entire justice system would collapse. It's not meant to be that way. I don't know how it's the way in Britain. Obviously, when both Dylan and Tabitha give their testimony, it's basically a tale of two people, how basically Dylan obviously is, quite frankly, a very awkward kid, and quite frankly, there is just some stuff here that you have to realize, yeah, you really are a high-strung individual, and you may be a little bit off, but could you be guilty? And obviously Tabitha, who basically puts on the charm because that's what she is, and she admits, hey, look, I'm arrogant. I was a sex worker. But, and again, my parents are not people that I like to hang around with, but clearly I am innocent of the crime. I'd like to see a second season of this if the UC were to decide, okay, this would be interesting enough to commission a second season. Possibly. But does this break new ground? Not necessarily, but I enjoyed what I saw. So folks, Showtrial, have you seen this? What did you think? Please put everything in the comment box below here, folks. As always, folks, like, comment, and subscribe, and rate yourself with knowledge. I'm at Michael Rich at RichReviews2 on Twitter. I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.